Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Blockchain John, with my co host, Jake Jabarelli, here to give you an exclusive interview with TJ Haddox of Degen Smokers and co creator of Ska Punk's NFT. How's it going, TJ?
I'm doing well, man. How you guys doing?
Awesome, awesome. Doing real great. The first question, which is always the icebreaker question for everybody that's on the podcast, is what is the your most favorite NFT ever created on any blockchain?
Uh, well, I have to lean towards CryptoPunks. I think that those are probably my favorite. I also really like Bored Ape Yacht Club. I really enjoy them. I think they do some cool stuff.
Really? So I
Yeah.
never got into it with Board 8 Yacht Club, but they and on top of that they came in quick, they came in fast, and they came on top. Like, what is that what you're into, or how what why are you so attracted to that?
No, so I honestly I had found out about them like way later. I hadn't followed NFTs for a brief period of time, and they had already blew up at that point. I don't know. I just really like the design of them. I like the kind of like the just the whole thing of the whole design of them, man. I really like them a lot.
Nice, nice. All right, so TJ, so before we get started, I always like to ask my first time guest, and this is your first time officially being on the podcast. So, everyone that's on the podcast for the first time, we like to kind of go back in history. You're currently 29 years old, so you have a few years of just personal experiences just living on this planet, right? So, what did you do early on before you even got into crypto?
Yeah. So before I got into crypto at all, was just you know typical life, man. I mean, I lived in the suburbs, right outside of Cleveland. I currently live right outside of downtown Cleveland now. But uh, but yeah, grew up out there, high school, pretty average life. You know, worked a bunch of different random jobs. I worked a bunch of fast food when I was a kid, and then as I got older, did a lot of manual labor roofing jobs, a couple of machine shops, and then I ended up now working insurance. I do client service work for them.
Nice. So, how did you get into crypto? Is Cleveland like very saturated with a lot of crypto developers, or how did you get into that?
None, yeah. Honestly, I think I don't I saw the value in it. I know that that seems I don't have any friends, even still to this day in the real world that are into crypto like that. They really don't follow it. I'm pretty much the only one. I'm sure that there are a lot of people in Cleveland that are into it. Unfortunately, growing up, and my friends, we did not.
Hmm.
I saw Bitcoin when it was first coming up, and I was really interested in it. We were living in Cleveland Heights at the time, my younger brother and
Hmm.
two of our friends, and I actually suggested that they get into it because my brother and I have never really had a bunch of money to invest in anything really. So I kind of suggested it to my friends. They did, made a little bit of money. They sold still really early. So yeah, I just have been following it since maybe a couple years after Bitcoin first came out, maybe 2, 3 years after it first like released. But yeah, it's just been me, unfortunately.
So, what was the first thing you heard when you first got into crypto? Was it which blockchain? Was it Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Ravencoin?
So it was Bitcoin. And I followed that for a long time. Then I got into following Ethereum as that got a little more
So,
traction and
what year? Huh.
so I was in Cleveland Heights when I first talked to my friends about Bitcoin, which is probably the same year I found out. It was maybe 5-ish years ago, 6 years ago now.
Okay,
Is when I first really started hearing about Bitcoin and personally got interested in it.
okay. So I'm guessing like when the first real bull run up to like 20K is my guess.
Yeah, so I remember my friends, my two roommates, when I told them about Bitcoin, it was currently still in maybe like the tens of thousands. It wasn't quite at 20,000 because my friends, I mean, they had some money to invest, but they didn't have that kind of money, and I know that they had almost had like full Bitcoins at the time.
Mm-hmm. So we're
So
talking about 2016, 2017.
yeah, probably about then. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you transitioned to over Ethereum.
Yeah. So after I got hooked on just crypto in general through Bitcoin, seeing the potential that could be, I guess, coming in the future with it, I started following, as much as I could. So started following and watching Ethereum, and then
Did
ended up getting into Bitcoin or Ravencoin a little while after.
did you get into Ethereum early on? Did you actually stack it
No,
back on that?
no, I wish, man. I really, I've never. I really came from very humble beginnings, man.
Yeah.
My brother and I really didn't have money outside of, rent and our basic living expenses. I
Mm-hmm.
really never had money that I could just throw at something, and even if I thought it was going to be great, there's no way I could spend any money on
Hey,
it. So
brother, I am 100% in the same exact boat, man. I wish when I got into Bitcoin when it was literally at $250. I didn't have $250 to buy Bitcoin,
yeah,
So yeah, I'm in the same boat. I wish I had that, but I was putting my dollars into it little by little. So when I tell the story that yeah, I was into crypto or when I was into Bitcoin when it was at 250, well, I didn't have 250 back then. I was putting just like you, man, humble beginnings, just putting those $1 at a
right,
time, right? Yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah. So
Did,
fortunately, missed those bandwagons, man.
did you ever get a chance to read the Satoshi white paper?
No, so I've read a little bit of it, but I'm really not super familiar with it.
Okay. Um, are you are you a developer? Are you well versed in developing code? Are you able to understand it even if you did read the Satoshi white paper?
No, no, I've wrote very basic scripts, but I've never done coding or anything like
Mm,
that. So
yeah, same here. I'm a copy and paste kind of guy. I just wanted to
yeah,
make it be. It's alive! I can't believe I actually
yeah,
did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very basic scripting skills, but that's really about it. Unfortunately, I've always been into it, but I just haven't really learned it.
All right. And now you moved over to Ravencoin. So from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Ravencoin, did you ever jump into Dogecoin or Feathercoin that was out there early on?
So Doge, yes. Feathercoin, no. Doge, couple years, maybe 2 3 years ago, I had bought some and ended up selling out like super early. I bought in right before everybody really started catching on with it. And then unfortunately, I just really didn't see it going anywhere. At that point, I'd kind of understood how, I guess, blockchains function, the technologies behind them, and I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere, if I'm being honest. So
Right,
I ended
right.
up selling out.
I did the same exact thing 100%, man. I was buying my Dogecoin from eBay. Literally 30,000 Doge for like 30 cents. 30 cents, bro. It was like nothing. It was just I was like, okay, I mean, I can see the blockchain technology behind it. There's really no use case other than being a meme coin. It has no cap on it. There's just an infinite amount just being
Yeah,
printed just so everybody can meme each other with it. Hey, it's a
yeah,
fun coin. Yeah, why not? So I went to
yeah,
eBay, bought 30 cents, of it and got 30,000 Doge coins. Like, awesome, cool.
yeah,
And then when it went up to 2x, I'm like, cool, let's sell it off. I actually made a little profit. Awesome. Unbeknownst that it was actually going to get up to a penny because it was like a super fraction of a penny. I forgot how small it was, but it was nowhere near even a penny. And then it skyrocketed to what, like 65 cents?
yeah, yeah,
That's like mind blowing. Like that. That's what really flipped my thinking behind crypto in general. It's not just about the use case, and I keep saying this a lot this year, in 2021, that it has a lot to do with the community, man. You have to have a very good community behind the project that's being built. And I think that's what happened with Dogecoin. Obviously, you had Elon Musk, and a lot of people are Elon Musk minions, and they all kind of just followed him. So when he's over here pushing Dogecoin, of course, you're going to get a lot of followers pushing that as well. And then on top of that, what stacked on top of that was the Wall Street bets guys, right?
yeah.
All those guys got into it and pushed that even higher. It's insane. So yeah, and now we're here to the questions. Let's break down. Let's break for questions real quick. Jake, do you have any questions before we continue on to the next phase?
Uh, Not yet. I mean, it's interesting to know a little bit of the history of TJ, but I'm sure there's more yet to come. So,
Good. All right. So we're gonna go to what you're currently doing in the crypto space. Now that you transition over to Ravencoin, why did you decide to choose Ravencoin out of all the blockchains that are out there? Why Ravencoin?
So I started mining it first about a year and a half ago now. Is when I really got hip to Raven. Unfortunately, it wasn't sooner, but I started here. I built a couple computers. I built two of them just for personal use, and a couple people I knew had asked me because they had heard about mining, if I was going to get into mining. And at the time, I said no. Really, once again, not being like super techy, I didn't really think. I thought it was going to be too hard for me to get into it, so I left it alone. And then about a year and a half ago, I really started looking back into it and found a Reddit, the Raven Reddit server, Raven Reddit page, and I ended up running into some people that were on the Dark Fiber Mines page.
Yeah, Dark Fiber Mines. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so a couple of those guys, I don't actually remember their names, but they had me join the Discord. I was in their Discord and started mining through their servers. And then, I was only making like $1.60 or something. I had like a 1050 Ti and a 1060, and I was so hyped, man. Like I could not believe that it was a real deal.
It's
It was only a dollar.
alive.
Yeah, I mean it was only $1.60 a day, but I was so excited just because the idea of it, I guess. So I
Right,
became addicted.
right.
I became addicted with that, and then started trying to build, an actual mining rig. And over the last year and a half, I've gotten one together through, saving and spending money, and getting one put together. And then the NFTs kind of started because I had saw, Ethereum's big blow up on NFTs, and once again, I still, I mean, I have a pretty, nice career now, but it's still not really enough for me to live super comfortably. So I really didn't have big crypto investments. My only real hope in it was to mine Raven and may stack a little bit and see where I could, where it would go. And then NFTs started taking off, and I've always loved art and just doodling, doing different things. And so I originally wanted to just buy and try to sell NFTs. You see a lot of people making money on that
Right, flipping
on
it. Yeah.
Ethereum. So I got into that. I tried to, and I went to buy a couple no name NFTs at the time because I didn't have money to spend for anything really nice, and that I thought maybe had some potential. And the gas fees were seriously, more than the NFT. And once again, I really didn't have money like that, so I didn't buy any. So it stopped for a couple months, 3, 4, maybe like 4.5 months. I stopped looking into NFTs, and then at that point I had gotten a mining rig together, had a little bit of Raven stacked up from that, and I found out about Raven NFTs, and I thought, I like doodling, I like creating art. Why not give it a shot and try to buy a couple Raven NFTs and make my own is kind of my thought, and luckily it's worked out fairly well now. So
Nice. But before we get into Degen Smokers, I want to ask you with your crypto bags that you're holding. I'm assuming you're holding some type of crypto. Did you ever did you ever get into day trading on exchanges?
no, so I mean I have, but nothing serious. I don't really. I guess in my opinion, I don't own enough of any outside of Raven at this point. I don't really own enough of any other like coin to actually really day trade to make enough money. I guess that to me it would be worthwhile. And besides that, I'm not never really had luck with it. So I end up I end up buying in and then getting out and then buying back in at basically where I was. I
Hmm.
never really seemed to turn enough profit that most times I've just been buying and holding now. So
Yeah, yeah. Strong. Diamond hands, right? Diamond hands.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Learned that lesson. I mean, I have gotten burned a couple times trying to day trade, but yeah, now I just buy and hodl.
Let's talk about Degen smokers. By the way, if you have something you can screen share, maybe your Degen smokers collection, you can do that through Discord. So for anyone that's watching on YouTube, they can actually visually see what the Degen smokers collections that you have. If you want to do that, make sure that you do have your private keys there visibly, please, so everyone can see that. I'm joking, dude. Don't show your private keys.
Yeah. Well, I actually don't have. I was just gonna pull you up to the just NFTs page really
Yeah,
because
yeah, sure. Go
anything
ahead with
else I
that.
have.
Now, is just NFTs the only, I guess, medium of exchange that you use to do these transactions of your NFTs, or do you use multiple platforms?
Yeah, so I only am on just NFTs at the moment. I really like them. They really showed me a lot of support and love at the very beginning when I was kind of just starting out because a lot of people at the time didn't know that I was behind Pixel Rex NFTs.
Yeah, yeah,
So they they really helped me out and gave me some more confidence, I guess, to keep pursuing NFTs. Getting to know Ryan and them.
yeah. We've had Ryan on the podcast. He's a great
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
man. And I had
yeah.
I had a chance to set up my book on there as well. Hashtag buy my book.
That's
Right?
right. Buy John's book.
It's exclusively on just NFTs. So it sounds like Degen Smokers is also just on just NFTs as well, right?
Yep, yeah. Only
Well,
place you'll find me.
through
Well,
through
I guess
through you, through you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
through me, and then I guess there are some there's a couple differences. I have sold on Black Dog NFT,
mm-hmm.
um, for the AR degens, the virtual reality ones we
Oh,
did,
really?
or the augmented reality ones we did. Yeah, so through some of that code, I guess, to actually make it like AR, it has to be run through Black Dog's like site per se, like the way it's set up. So I ran those through his site, but everything else is just NFTs.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, did you have something to share there, or are you good?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying
Okay.
to
No,
pull it
it's
up.
okay. How did you get into the name Degen Smokers? I know that I want to say there's some similarities there to the Ethereum version of it, right?
Um, so I mean, I I guess my inspiration for them was the CryptoPunks was just to be kind of like a fun play on them that wasn't so, wasn't meant to be like a super serious take on them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Degens thing, I just always kind of considered myself a Degen. I mean, I love like I've always liked Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I never had money for it, right? So I've always gotten into like these like crazy altcoins that I could somewhat afford to buy for the most part. So I just always have considered myself Degen. So then that and smoking. So Degen Smokers Club kind of just I don't know, it clicked, and I
It
really liked it.
clicked,
So
man. It straight up clicked when the first generation came out. That thing, once it hit the market, everybody wanted those, man. Everybody wanted those. They were a success. I don't know if they're a success to you, but to me, from what I see from my perspective, I saw that everybody had a freaking Degen smoker. It was insane. I was like, what the heck is going on? This is crazy, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, I agree, man. It took off on another level that I really didn't expect at the time, and it's really, man. I say it all the time in my Discord, on Twitter, and everything like that. But it would be nothing without the Degen Smoker Club community, and really just all the support it received, man. It's been a huge blessing and like seriously a big honor, man. I mean, I see people talking about it in different things, about being one of their favorite Raven NFTs and stuff like that, and I really, it truly like touches me, man, to like another level, man. It's so just so thankful to everybody that supported it and
Right.
you know loves them. So
And that's one of the things, man. I'm telling you, I'll say it again, and you kind of already hinted there that it's about the community, man. Things aren't successful. These projects will not be successful without a good community behind it. And there was a lot of people behind DJ and Smokers. They loved it. They loved it. They loved it, man. Hashtag smoke break.
that's right. Hashtag smoke break, man. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up the just NFTs page here and try to
Okay.
split it, guys. But I don't know if it's actually gonna work here. I want it to.
Okay, here we go. All right. So for those that are listening only on the podcast, you guys can head over to the YouTube channel to see what we are seeing here. All right, let's see. Where is it? There it is. Okay, explain to us what we are seeing here. So for the folks that are just listening.
Yeah, so this is just NFTs.io marketplace. This is where I list all the Degen Smokers Club. Also, we have a Discord where we announce the drops. I do 2 drops a day. One, I try to keep them on time, but one at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then one at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I drop what's going to be listed in the Discord for everybody that's in the Discord. Kind of have a little bit of advantage because I know that it gets really hectic, man. When some rare ones come out, they get bought right away. So, if you're not a part of the Discord, please come and join.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to have you, and you get a little leg up, I guess you want to say.
So I see that your degens are all set at default for 500 Raven.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So every one of them outside of the AR ones, or we do I do some 3D ones that are just like 3D pixel
Mm-hmm.
photos. Those ones usually go up for auction, but all of the uh, all of the ones that are actually listed and sold, a part of the 3,333 degens that there ever will be, they're all up 500 a piece. Doesn't matter on rarity. We try to keep it. My whole goal was to try to keep it as transparent and fair as possible because I tried to mimic with this collection what you would get on the bigger blockchains as far as being able to go and mint on a website, right? Where the actual owner of the collection doesn't really have any control over what people are minting, right? It just runs their algorithm and generates them um, a random degen, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Since we can't do that on Ravencoin yet, um, this has kind of been my solution. Is I kind of work a back way around it, and I do all of the algorithm up front. But in order to stay transparent and fair, so that there isn't you know any issues where because I have to control them up until they're released. So everything is released. I personally just got my first degen ever. I didn't even actually own one because I've just minted them and listed them. And someone in the Degen Smokers Club actually had gifted me one. I believe it was yesterday. Big shout out to JW in the Discord. He's also on Twitter. He's a great guy, man. He gave me one that he had actually purchased, so I really appreciate it. It's my first one that I actually own. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Laser
yeah. But
eyes.
they're
All
all
right.
yeah, man. A couple cool ones, man. We started doing this last. Uh, this is series 4 now, but series 3 we implemented like different smokes because it was always just like a joint. A lot of people called it a cigarette, whatever. But we've actually incorporated different things. Like now we have a cigar, we have a water pipe. There's actually a pipe. It's super rare. I think it's like a 0.5% rarity of it
Okay.
actually
Now,
turning up. So
I wanted to get into that while you're scrolling through that. In regards to percentages and the rarity, I did I did notice that you posted all the I guess it, not images, what the pieces to creating these degens, right? They all
yep,
break down to percentages,
yep,
and that's what you get a good like either a rare or an unrare degen.
yeah,
Regardless
yeah.
of that, are they all still set at 500? Like, say, for example, if something super rare comes onto them, gets output through the algorithm, because I'm assuming this is all put into an algorithm. You're not just putting these
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
together.
yeah. No, not hand doing these. These are all computer generated. Yeah.
So if a super rare comes out, it's still going to be set at 500 Raven.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100% prices do not change on them. Like I said, with the exception of the actual augmented reality ones that are a completely different section of the degens and the 3D like pixel image ones, those ones are all hand done. Those ones I usually list for auction. But as far as this series, like this collection of the Degen Smokers Club, the 3,333 of them, Doesn't matter if it's uncommon or super rare. I mean, very common or super rare. They are all 500 Raven. Nothing ever changes as far as the price. It's just first come, first serve. If you follow along with the drops in the Discord, it does help. Most people in there have gotten a lot of rare ones through that. But yeah, they're always 500 Raven.
So it's one of those
Doesn't matter.
things that if somebody wants to get a rare one, they really have to study what the percentages are of rarity. So they basically have to
Yeah.
join your Discord and get that printed out, or kind of just study the material of what creates a very rare degen, right? Because I'm assuming a rare degen is naturally going to be more pricey or more valuable on the market, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess not financial advice, but I do agree. I think that more rare ones will be inherently worth more money, I guess, or a Raven in future than more common ones. Uh, I'm, I really so I also have. I was trying to think of how I could explain it. So I also have the rarity breakdown pinned on my Twitter as well. So I mean, you don't have to come to the Discord if you don't want to. I know a lot of people don't use Discord. It is on my Twitter, pinned right at the top, and it changes whenever there's a new series. Usually, the series lasts about 500 is the run of how many degens are in that series. So there's about I believe it's like six series for the full collection of 3,000 of them. But yeah, the current series is pinned on the top of my Twitter. You could look there. It's got all of the
Okay.
rarity breakdowns for each layer, and then also my Discord. Yeah, which if you go to my Discord, you can.
But you don't dump them all at once, right? You said you released a section every day.
Yeah, so I do 20 in the morning and then 20 at night. Like I said, 10:30 in the morning, I release 20 of them into just NFTs, and then 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I release another 20. So there's 40 that come out a day. So
Wow. When do you sleep?
yeah, I haven't. I really, I tell people this, and I mean this in like the most humbled way. But earlier this year, man, I was working three different jobs at one time, trying to kind of stay afloat. I've always wanted more. I've never really been one to settle, so I've always worked multiple jobs and different things, trying to make extra money, trying to just really, you know, uh, get by in life, I guess. And I've been able to stop all of my side jobs that I had, my part time jobs, and just work my career and the degens full time so far. And I honestly could not be more happy and thankful to everybody. I truly mean that. It's been amazing, all the support and everything. I really really appreciate it all.
Yeah. So you did put a couple of degens up for auction, right?
Yeah. So the first 11 degens went for auction, and that was when I first was creating them. They were not a part of the algorithm. At the time, I just hand did them, I guess, hand done them, and they I wasn't sure because I was still doing pixel recs at the time, and those were all hand done. I did not, auto did not run an algorithm for anything until after the first 11 degens is when I kind of found out how to do that and kind of put it together and did some studying on how to make it work and then implemented it. And then from degen number 12 through where we're at currently, which I believe is like 1,560 or something. It's something or somewhere around that number. Yeah, they've all been computer generated since then. So the first ones were up for auction, the first 11 that were all hand done. But that's it. Everything else, like I said, other than the ARs and the 3D pixel ones, which are also hand done, are all computer generated and listed. Just no auction.
Would you happen to know which is the highest selling degen?
Yeah. So I guess it's a two-parter. So I sold when the first 11. I forget the number, but it was I named the first 11 because I was just doing them by hand, same way with I did pixel recs, and would kind of give them quirky names, different things. And I did one that was kind of dedicated to Tron Black, and I thought it was kind of neat and fun, a fun idea. And it was weird, man. That there was a bunch of hype around the Degens, and they came out, and nobody bought Tron Black. It actually went off the auction, didn't sell, and it was only at the time I think it was listed at like 400 Raven or something. That was what I listed all the first 11 for, and it ended up so it didn't get sold at auction, and I was really surprised. Relisted it right after like the first 12 it came out, and it ended up selling. I think it only sold for like 475 Raven maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy just recently resold it. Jake Menard on Twitter, but he had bought it for like 475 Raven, and a month and a half later, he resold it for 75,000 Raven.
What for 75,000 Raven?
Yeah, or I mean, sorry, not 75, 35,000. Sorry,
Okay, 35.
35.
Oh man, man. So, but you yourself, you haven't yet sold a high number like that yet.
So the the augmented reality degens I sold. I think currently, as far as I know, I myself and then Ska Punk's I'm a co-creator of that project. Our AR projects have hold all of the all-time highs. So I broke the all-time high, which we think was around 35,000. I broke it with a 50,000 sale, and then the same day that I broke it for 50,000, we had an augmented reality Ska Punk sell for 52.5 thousand Raven, and then last Saturday I sold an AR Degen for 60,000 Raven.
Well, we still have you screen sharing. Are you able to show us those VR Degens? Or
Yeah, let me see.
AR, sorry, AR.
Yeah, AR. Yeah, let me see. I think they should be.
Block Dog. So TJ is currently looking up Block Dog.
Yeah,
NFT.com.
I think that they should still be on there. I'm not 100%. I was not prepared for that. Let me see.
Okay. What are we looking at here? We are
I'm gonna
looking
see
at
if
a
I
list
can.
of companies, I guess.
Yeah, I was looking at the. I was thinking I'd be in the seller list, but I don't know that I actually.
Hmm.
Right here. So this is one of them. This is not the current highest selling, but this is one of the AR
Interesting.
ones.
Okay.
So they're there's the sold for on that one at 36,000.
36,000. Wow.
So this one specifically is a two-parter. So you got the custom handmade profile pic, and then you also got the actual AR degen
So,
here
so
that
this is
you drop in your house.
this is you working with Scott Punks, right?
So these are just mine.
Okay.
The Sky Punks is its own collection that Black Dog and I put out and put together.
Okay.
But yeah, the degens, the augmented reality one. So he helped me implement that. I wasn't actually sure how to do that at first, so he helped me with that.
And
I believe.
these are all built into the NFT. Like you can just purchase the NFT and view the AR through there. Like what software do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need? Like do I just open?
Um, so it's so it's ran through Google, so you actually don't need anything. It's all in the
Oh,
files. Um, so when I send over your your asset that you just bought, your NFT, it'll come with your profile pic, all of the like the HTML for you to access the AR as far as
okay,
on Android or Apple. But yeah, it's all ran through Google, so you actually don't have to download anything or anything like that. You can
okay.
just go to the link and pull them up, and you can drop them in your house. And this is the one that sold Saturday. I believe it was just this past Saturday. This one was the new highest selling at 60,000.
Whoa,
So this
that's
was
insane.
this was a three-parter. So you got what the 3D pixelated image that kind of is what goes into creating the AR version.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the 3D pixel degens that I was talking about that like I hand do, and I'll list those for auction every now and again. You got your custom profile pic that goes with it. and then the actual AR Degen itself right here that you got,
Interesting.
you get to have and drop them in your house or however you want to use them.
That's
But
pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's the, as far as we know at the moment, that is currently the highest selling NFT on Ravencoin.
Wow. 60,000. That's crazy. Um,
Yeah, that is mind blowing, man. It's been crazy.
can you show us that Tron Black NFT that you're talking about? I just want to see what that looks like. I
Yeah,
want to show everybody what that looks like there.
yeah,
Because there
shoot.
there is history behind that, like you said. You've already mentioned it, but that's everybody knows in the community what that is. And I'm sure it's just gonna be a more. There's gonna be more history that's gonna be built behind that NFT, dude. And you were the one that created that.
Yeah, I hope, man. I mean, honestly, when I got involved in Raven mining, I started getting involved in the community at that point. Um, and I really, really, really enjoyed it
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to try to be a part of it any way I could, man. So, being able to kind of make somewhat of an impact on the NFTs and possibly help bring hype and awareness to Raven NFTs has been a serious blessing. I really appreciate it more than I could ever say, and probably more than most people ever know. I'm trying to just get down to the bottom here. Let me see if I can go to like because it'll be like in the first listing. If it doesn't pull up here, I can actually pull it up on in my files.
So these obviously these uh, images have to be placed through IPFS, right?
Yeah.
What IPFS service are you using?
So I use Ravencoin IPFS for all of the degens and everything I do.
Beautiful. Any particular reason why?
No, they were just they had. I mean, I really like the way that the site works. But they were just the first ones when I really started getting into NFTs at all with Pixel
Mm-hmm.
Rex because those were the first ones I ever did. Um, I tried to do it, and that was just who I got suggested to try out,
Mm-hmm.
and I really liked them. It was super simple, so I've stayed. I really never really saw a reason for leaving.
Have you ever found any challenges or difficulties using it, or any kind of
Uh,
issues that came up while you were creating your degens?
I think my biggest struggle was at first just trying to. Um, uh, so here is the Tron Black. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Negative.
No. All right. Let's see. Let
Okay.
me try this
Close down
again.
the win.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Go ahead.
Here we go. So there it is. That is the my kind of take on Tron Black as far as like,
Oh man. Okay. All right. Very nice.
yeah, it was
I would not
just
have
supposed.
guessed.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be a fun take, man. I
Yeah.
just did it, kind of clowning around, and it was a name that I wanted to use, and obviously for obvious reasons, but it was just supposed to be like a loosely play on Tron Black, and so that was what it was. That actually is that's the highest selling secondhand DJ we've ever had. I
And
have
that's
had
what number is
a
that? That
few
is
good.
number 11.
Yep, number 11. Yeah,
Okay, Degen Smokers number 11 is the Tron Black. For the
yeah.
viewers or for the listeners out there that are not watching this, I highly recommend you going over to C3 Media YouTube channel so you guys can see what we're talking about. Otherwise, I guess you can search where can they find this at? The Degen Smokers number 11.
Uh, so I think Just NFTs had a website issue a while back after these were listed, and I went to my page, and it does not show on Just NFTs marketplace anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there is a Twitter that bought it that is currently using it as their profile. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I can grind them through.
Okay. So I do want.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask. I still wanted to go back and talk about IPFS and ask
Hmm.
you because you didn't really answer the question. Did you have any issues using IPFS in creating your assets? Like, did you have errors popping up while in the process of creating your assets, or did you have any customers come back to you saying, "Hey, this NFT has a broken link attached to it. I can't even see anything through it." Uh,
Um, so when they've done some uh, work on their sites, and their site's been down once or twice maybe. Obviously, that was put a little damper on my minting. That was an issue, but they fixed that generally really quick, and it was just them doing updates to the site, so the site was down, so nothing you could really do about that. I think maybe I had one person, one or two, say something about a link not working, and I had to kind of work it out and have them send it back and check it out, and I ended up burning it and reminting another one. But no, I really have no complaints, man. I've really never had any issues with them, thankfully. Like I said, I haven't really had a reason to look anywhere else. I really really like them.
and all of these degens are minted off the Ravencoin blockchain as unique assets, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
every single time you create one of these, it is costing you 5 Raven.
Yep.
Good. I mean, good that it's only costing you 5 Raven because the idea is you're
Oh
flipping
yes.
it for 500, right? So you're making your
Oh
profit
yeah.
there. So as a businessman, that's a smart move right there, hands down. And then somebody else is going to sell it for 60 grand, 60,000. Yeah, it's insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's
This
insane.
one in particular, like I said, this one in particular is the highest selling secondhand sale we've seen so far at 35,000 Raven.
Hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
And we we've had a couple different ones go for 8,000. A couple go for 6,000. I believe one or two go for 4,000 Raven. And the first ever resale was done on our Discord. We have a little section there, for selling and trading, just because when I was first getting into doing Raven NFTs and just the degens and anything with NFTs in general, um, I felt like the one thing that I felt like was missing, which I was trying to help build, I guess, in the best way I could, was people were buying Raven NFTs, but then they were just holding on to them. I never saw, like, they were never used again, right? Like people were
Mm-hmm.
just buying them and then nothing. You'd hear about somebody buying one, but you might have saw it, they might have posted on Twitter, whatever, but that's it. And in my opinion, in order to compete with any other blockchain that allows NFTs, you need to see things like people moving floors, people buying and reselling whatever the NFT is, whether it's a degen or whatever it is. You're never going to get that big business and that the market's exchanging money like that if people don't feel like there's money there, right? Like if
Mm-hmm.
I can't buy something and potentially turn a profit, obviously not financial advice, not telling you to go out and buy any NFT you can get your hand on or anything like that, but until that's there, that was to me one of the problems with Raven as far as getting into it. I mean, now it's been, it's blew up. I mean, you see tons of great NFTs coming out. I mean, there was tons that were amazing prior to me. I don't mean that in any kind of way. I just mean that there was nobody, they were just buying them and holding them, and I was trying to implement ways for people to buy them, trade them, sell them, whatever they wanted to do. And so the first ever resale of a degen was sold in my Discord, actually, the Smokers Club Discord, and it went. They bought it for 400 Raven, and I think a couple days later they sold it for like 600 Raven. So I mean, not a huge profit there, but I mean, it was nice. And ever since then, it's really grown. Like I said, we've seen a couple different for 4,000. We had a 6,000, an 8,000, and then this one selling for 35,000 was huge. So
So I see Degen smokers a lot, obviously, because I am involved in the Ravencoin community. So I see that going everywhere. Uh, so I know that you're just not doing this by yourself. Who else is helping you get the Degen smokers campaign out? Should I say?
yeah, so it's really been super grassroots. Big ups to like everybody. I mean, I really it feels like it's everybody in the Ravencoin community. Honestly, they, the people, the first few people that joined my Discord and were interested in the Degens were amazing, man. They have helped put the word out like nobody would ever believe, man. I mean, the community in Raven itself, to be honest, though, even with Twitter when I got, when it started,
Yeah.
was amazing. I mean, everybody is, helped spread the word and, you know, supported in one way or another. And it's been awesome, man. So it is seriously a blessing to have found the Raven community, and then now being able to be like a real part of it is crazy.
Awesome. Jake, yeah, any questions?
No, it's been nice to listen to this whole thing. I hate to put it this way, but my interest in NFTs isn't so much for art as it is, or for return on investment, but uh, practical, a practical sense. I mean, I'm not saying that reselling an NFT isn't practical because you're making money on it, but when John asked the question at the top of the hour, what's your favorite NFT? And it's like, if he'd asked me that question, I couldn't have said it was a CryptoPunk or a um, what's it called?
Bored Ape.
Yeah, Bored Ape Yacht Club, but but rather a piece of property in Decentraland. um, and
I'm
it's
with you,
because
man.
to me the ideal of NFTs isn't just. I mean, obviously it's been hyped a lot by the visual images by all these different characters, but that's just one application to NFTs. And NFTs are so much more than just that. Just like crypto, it's so much more than just a currency.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took me a long time before I found a particular strain of NFTs that I was really into, and that's the reason I bought into Royal Bears um, on Raven. So if you look at my Twitter, I have a Royal Bear on my Twitter avatar. But,
Yeah, they
yeah,
do
as
some.
far as what?
I was just saying they do some great work, man. They've got some images.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put down anybody's
Oh,
ability to draw. I'm terrible at drawing, so I wouldn't even compare. But um, I it's just I don't. Maybe I should have just said nothing, but
no, no, no,
um,
no. No, I understand, man. Honestly, I personally with my art, because obviously I can speak on that. I get it, as far as my art to some of the other NFT art that's out there. I totally understand, man. I mean, everybody's got their own taste, right? If you like the Degens or any other NFT, that's what matters, man, right? Is that part of it. Like I said, it's it doesn't bother me any. You know what I mean? Like
everybody likes different art, right?
Hmm.
yeah,
We
yeah,
always look at the truly wealthy people of billions of dollars, and they spend money on like, why would you buy that piece of
yeah,
ugly,
yeah.
have that
Bunch of
just
squiggles,
black
right?
paint on yeah
Yeah.
squiggly lines? What the heck does that? It's like maybe it speaks to someone's soul, but at the same time, it's also a store of money, right? It's a
Yeah,
place to
yeah.
put money to store it until you sell it later.
So
Um,
I
and
I
and
really
and it,
like I really like things attached to real physical goods, NFTs attached to real physical stuff, and that's why when we had were you at the last auction that was in Braveland, TJ?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a piece in there.
Okay, so I was in there. I was recording it. It is on the C3 Media YouTube channel, so anybody that wants to check that out, you guys can check that out. That was on a Friday afternoon. Beautiful. Everybody was there. We had a big attendance there. It was pretty good. I did end up winning the last auction because it was a physical item attached to an NFT, and I really, really wanted that. I wanted a piece of that. I wanted to be a part of that history, and in fact, that NFT was literally created like 24 hours or 48 hours before it was even put up on that auction. It was a last minute thing, and for most people, it sounds absurd that I would spend 5,000 Raven for a rock, but I did. I did.
I remember.
I did. I wanted
It's
to
a
be
good
that
rock,
person.
though.
It's a good
It
rock,
is a
man.
good rock. It is a
It's
good rock.
there's a lot, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna do with that rock. Don't worry, man. It's gonna have its own persona. You guys are gonna see. You
It's
guys are
gonna be,
gonna be mind blown about that.
yeah, it's
Um,
gonna be awesome.
TJ, you're 29 years old, man. You're really young. It sounds like you have a real passion for crypto, particularly the Ravencoin community. What do you plan on doing? Obviously, Degens is your thing,
Yeah.
but there's so much more in crypto. What do you plan on doing here in the next 5 to 10 years? Well, actually, that's way too far. I guess in crypto land, 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, so I currently am holding all of my earnings from the Degens. My plan is the beginning of the year. I love doing the NFTs, as far as like the art and just having fun doing that stuff. But next, the beginning ish of next year, I'm trying to get it all together. I'm going to be really starting a really big mining operation. That's really what I would like to do, Raven mining specifically. Uh, but yeah, that's my plans at least. So I've been actually hodling all of the earnings from the DGens so far.
Hmm.
I really like mining. I really enjoy it. So I'm kind of doing a big build out, or whatever I can build out when this is all said and done. Is
Nice,
my
nice.
plan as far as crypto goes, and then just holding, man. I trying to trying to hold on to as much as I can.
Do you have any connections with hardware manufacturers to get some good hardware?
No, no, I do not. I The closest thing I got is there's a micro center near me.
You got to check out. You got to connect yourself with Jake there. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, Jake. Oh yeah, that's right. You said you had some mining farm stuff, man. Yeah, we'll have to get this
Uh,
off
we
and that.
did. We didn't do Raven for all that long, and not to go into much detail, but Raven really does crunch hard on graphics cards, regardless of what you use. So if you like a hot room,
Yep.
mine Raven.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a shed. It'll be outside. I live in Ohio, so I don't care. It'll be, weather could be all right.
Hmm. All right, Jake. Before we wrap this up, can you get the disclaimer and plug on standby before we wrap this up?
Sure thing.
Uh,
Yep.
TJ, anything else you want to say before we wrap this up to the Ravencoin community out there that's watching?
No, just I mean, I guess yeah, but just you know, just really thank you guys for having me, man. It's been awesome to really get to talk to you guys, and thank you guys to the Ravencoin community. You guys have helped me seriously in more ways than I could ever explain, and I thank you guys for loving and supporting the DGens, man. Seriously, very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. TJ Haddox, I guess the creator of Degen Smokers and co-creator of Ska Punks. Thank you for being on the podcast. Jake.
All right. So per the comment that TJ made a couple of times, this content is for entertainment purposes only, and any comments made by us, the hosts, or the guests, like TJ, is not financial advice. But we do appreciate that anyone watching the show on YouTube or listening to us through Anchor would like and subscribe if you appreciate our content. Hit the notification bell. We post every Wednesday and Sunday for a regular podcast, and every Thursday for our interviews until the end of the year. You can check us out on Discord. We have a lot of content in that place and a lot of people there to talk with. We're also on Patreon. We have 3 different levels: a 3, a 5, and a 10. And the higher you subscribe at, the more content you get. We have AMAs and further interview information up there on a regular basis. And if you don't want to donate any other way, please donate through Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, or Basic Attention Token. All descriptions in the links below.
Below.
Buy
All
Dylan's
right.
book.
Yeah, hashtag buy my book. Hashtag buy Degen Smokers. With that said,
Hashtag smoke break,
Cryptonauts.
boys.
With that said, Cryptonauts. Until next time, stack sats and hodl. Adios.